Hello and welcome back to Smart Real Estate. We are now joined with Melissa Russell. She is a realtor with Willis Allen Real Estate. Hi Melissa, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Thanks for coming on the show today.
My pleasure.
So tell me, how did you choose to become a realtor?
Well, most of my career prior to real estate was advertising sales, and it was very exciting. I traveled a lot. I got to eat at the finest restaurants, etc. But during that time, I invested in real estate myself, and I bought and sold a couple of properties. I was very involved in it, and so I could see what the process was, and I also made pretty good money when I sold the properties. So I didn't get into real estate to really be an investor, but I very much believe in real estate for many reasons. So I decided I'd rather kind of work for myself, and that's what I decided to do.
Awesome. And then, okay, the real estate market today, how would you describe it? You hear so many things on the news and from different people, but from someone with your experience, you know, is it a good time to buy? Is it a good time to sell? What are your thoughts?
Well, it's definitely a good time to buy. As we know, interest rates are at an all-time low. When I bought my first property here in San Diego, quite some time ago, the interest rate was about 13%. And my dad had to help me, of course, with that. Then I bought something in 1995 in Los Angeles, and the interest rates were 7.25%. They had gone down to that. So I thought, oh, this is fantastic. You know, great, half the amount. Now interest rates are about 4%. So you cannot go wrong, and they're predicted to rise. So from a buying standpoint, absolutely. From a selling standpoint, the same factor applies. You can buy, you know, twice as much with 4% than you can with 7%. So it's a good time to buy or to sell.
I agree. I don't think we will see interest rates again in our lifetime at the 4% rate. So
I don't think so.
So tell me, you know, what do you offer your clients that makes you different? How do you set yourself apart?
Well, because of my background in marketing and sales, I'm able to negotiate on behalf of my clients, and that becomes a huge part of the transaction. It's not just, you know, the buyer and the seller. You're negotiating with the other agent, with the services that other people provide, maybe all the different inspectors that come in. So there's a lot of negotiation. I'm able to do that, of course, on the price, which is what people seem to care about the most. And then also I have a certification in staging. And I know how to sell, period, because that's my background, but I realized quickly once I got into real estate that, oh, there's a big difference in houses that look good in terms of the price that you get and how fast they sell. So I got the certification in staging, and it's a major factor in the listings that I have selling for a higher amount than the average and faster.
Absolutely. So just, you know, for the general consumer, staging,
yes.
What exactly is that?
Yes.
And do you have to buy stuff to stage it, or how does that work?
Perfect question, because most people think when you say staging, oh, we're talking about bringing in tons of furniture and how much is it going to cost? And it is expensive if you go that route. And I have to say, I think the traditional staging companies, that's kind of their, you know, that's what their method is. True staging, in my opinion, is basically getting rid of clutter and making the house Q-tip clean. That's the phrase that we use, and people kind of get that. So the house needs to be arranged. Each room should look like what that room is. So a dining room, you know, that's a playroom, doesn't work very well because most people coming in don't have vision, and they just automatically want to discount the price if the house doesn't look really good to them.
Absolutely, I can see that. You know, so what should someone look for when they're choosing a realtor?
They should look for someone who listens to them, someone that has experience in some way, whether it's experience in real estate or possibly past sales experience, in my opinion. And they should look for someone with references.
I agree. And then I was looking at your website, and it said that nearly 50% of your clients are out-of-town buyers, which I thought was very interesting. Tell me a little bit more about that. Why do you think that is, or what are you able to offer those clients that maybe aren't familiar with the area?
part of the reason for that is when I moved here in 2005 from Los Angeles, I was in Los Angeles when I got my real estate license, I decided to network with other realtors in Los Angeles after I moved down here. So it has turned into quite a large portion of my business, the referrals that I get. And so a lot of the people are moving into the area, into San Diego from another area, or they're moving out. So it has just turned out from referrals from the Los Angeles agents. That's where I've gotten that business. Of course, I also have my own clientele that I've developed here, and many of them have second homes, or they don't live here full time, or they travel. So I've had to become proficient in communicating at a distance. So that is something that, of course, I'm sure that you've heard of DocuSign and all of the different technology that we have to communicate, even if we're on a different time zone.
So you have some buyers that don't even see the house, that you send pictures or videos sometimes?
I have had a number of clients. In fact, I have a client near the office here in Poway, and she always reminds everybody when I come in, and they bought the house 7 years ago. I try to stay in touch with my clients, but she'll say, I bought the house sight unseen. Her husband had seen it, granted, but still, usually the wife wants to see it. So I've had more than one client.
That's fascinating. So Melissa, can you give me 3 tips to someone that's looking to sell their home?
Absolutely. I would say, first of all, hire a realtor, because there's a lot to go through in a transaction, and you're going to get the most exposure that way to the market and get the best price. The second is to price your home according to the market. Be realistic. You're going to get a better price if you're realistic versus pricing too high, and then people sometimes will undercut your price. The third tip is to go back to the staging topic. Please talk to a stager or hire someone that has a staging background, and you're going to get more money for your house and sell it quicker.
So thanks again, Melissa, for coming on the show. It was really great information. And thank you all for watching, and tune in next week for another episode of Smart Real Estate. If you're interested in appearing on the show, go to our website, www.oakwoodtv.tv. And thanks again, Melissa.